Sam Altman just stabbed Nvidia right in the back. OpenAI has officially unveiled its own custom artificial intelligence chip. It is called Jalapeño. This is not a drill. The monopoly of Nvidia is under direct attack. This single piece of silicon could completely crash Nvidia's trillion-dollar empire. Are you ready to see how the AI war changes forever? Stay till the end because this changes everything. Welcome back to NeuralPulse AI. Today, we are breaking down the biggest hardware news in tech history. OpenAI has teamed up with Broadcom. Together, they built a massive new chip designed for one thing. They want to make ChatGPT insanely fast and cheap. To understand how massive this is, look at the scale of current AI infrastructure. Up until yesterday, if you wanted to run a world-class AI model, you had no choice but to pay what industry insiders call the Nvidia Tax. Companies like Microsoft, Google, and Meta have spent tens of billions of dollars purchasing Nvidia H100 and Blackwell GPUs. Nvidia has been dictating the prices, the shipping timelines, and essentially controlling who gets to succeed in the AI revolution. By building its own silicon, OpenAI is cutting the cord. They are transitioning from being just a software company into a full-stack infrastructure giant. We will cover the secret specs of this new chip today. We will reveal Sam Altman's hidden timeline to replace Nvidia by late 2026. Because this chip will lower your AI subscription costs, it will make advanced AI agents available to everyone for free. The era of expensive AI is officially coming to an end. On June 24, 2026, OpenAI dropped a massive bombshell announcement. They officially unveiled their first custom-built silicon chip. The project name is Jalapeño. They did not build this alone. They partnered with semiconductor giant Broadcom and manufacturing expert Celestica. This news sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley because Nvidia has controlled 90% of the AI chip market for years. Every single company had to beg Jensen Huang for hardware. Let's look at a real-world example of how bad this bottleneck actually was. Just a few months ago, startup founders and even major tech enterprises were facing 6 to 9 month wait lists just to rent Nvidia chips from cloud providers. If you didn't have the hardware, you couldn't train your models, and you couldn't serve your customers. Sam Altman got tired of waiting in line, so he decided to build his own hardware stack. They built this highly complex chip from scratch in just 9 months. In the semiconductor industry, a typical design to tape out cycle for a high-performance chip takes anywhere from 2 to 3 years. Doing it in 9 months is practically unheard of. How did they achieve this impossible timeline? OpenAI used its own frontier AI models to help design the silicon. AI models are now literally building the next generation of AI hardware. Think about the implications of that. Software is optimizing its own physical hardware layout. The AI analyzed millions of circuit configurations to find the absolute most efficient pathways for data to travel. We are talking about a scale of 10 gigawatts of power. To put 10 gigawatts into perspective, that is enough electricity to power roughly 7 million homes simultaneously. This isn't just a chip for a localized server room. This is a blueprint for continental-scale data centers. Engineering samples are already running in OpenAI's secret labs right now. They are testing it on their upcoming model, internally known as GPT 5.3 Codex Spark. Before we dive into the technical breakdown of how Jalapeño actually functions, let's look at some mind-blowing facts behind this project that the mainstream media completely missed. Did you know? Number 1. The name Jalapeño isn't just a random spicy code name. It is a direct internal joke at OpenAI, poking fun at the intense heat that traditional Nvidia GPUs generate. Nvidia's Blackwell chips require complex liquid cooling systems just to keep from melting under heavy workloads. OpenAI designed Jalapeño to run cool, packing massive performance into a tight thermal budget. Did you know? Number 2. The physical size of the Jalapeño chip is absolutely monstrous. It measures roughly 25 by 33 millimeters. In the chip manufacturing world, that is nearly 840 square millimeters, which is right at the physical limit of what modern EUV lithography machines can print on a single piece of silicon. This is one of the largest inference chips ever created. Did you know? Number 3. The financial structure of this deal is highly unique. According to leaked reports from industry insiders, Broadcom is only funding the mass production of these chips once Microsoft or another major cloud partner commits to buying at least 40% of the initial inventory. This ensures that OpenAI has a guaranteed beer before the factory assembly lines even start rolling. Let us keep the technical details simple. Jalapeño is what engineers call an ASIC. It stands for Application-Specific Integrated Circuit. Think of an Nvidia GPU like a Swiss Army knife. It can do everything decently well. It can render video games, process graphics, mine cryptocurrency, and train AI models. But Jalapeño is not a general-purpose chip. It is a specialized tool built for one exact task. That task is AI inference. Inference is the process of generating an answer after training is done. For example, when you type a prompt into ChatGPT and it replies to you line by line, that is inference. Training a model happens once and takes months. Inference happens billions of times every single day when users interact with the app. Jalapeño is a massive chip with 6 high-bandwidth memory modules, built on TSMC's cutting-edge 3nm process. It is tightly integrated with Broadcom's Tomahawk networking silicon. Imagine a highway built perfectly for only one specific model of car. There is zero traffic, no traffic lights, and no speed limits. In traditional chips, data wastes precious time and energy moving back and forth between the processor and the external memory. Jalapeño eliminates this bottleneck entirely by balancing compute and memory architecture perfectly. Early testing shows Jalapeño delivers performance per watt that destroys current chips. In fact, initial lab reports indicate that Jalapeño cuts the actual cost of processing AI tokens by a staggering 50% compared to current Nvidia hardware. Let's look at how the tech industry's top minds and analysts are reacting to this sudden hardware shift. Hock Tan, the president and CEO of Broadcom, recently stated that their collaboration with OpenAI represents a fundamental commitment to scaling the physical infrastructure required for the next decade of AI, and that this is just the beginning of a multi-generation roadmap. What Hock Tan is hinting at is that this isn't a one-off experiment. This is a long-term, multi-generational hardware alliance meant to completely bypass traditional chip vendors. Meanwhile, independent semiconductor analysts point out that OpenAI is following a proven blueprint. Tech giants like Google have relied on their custom tensor processing units, or TPUs, for years to power Google Search and Gemini. Amazon has its Trainium and Inferentia chips. Meta is aggressively scaling its own custom silicon. The consensus among hardware experts is clear. The era of relying entirely on a single third-party chip supplier like Nvidia is structurally over. Wall Street analysts are already warning that while Nvidia's CUDA software platform still provides a powerful defensive moat, a 50% reduction in operational costs from custom ASICs like Jalapeño will force major tech buyers to diversify away from Nvidia much faster than previously anticipated. Regular people like you and me, advanced AI reasoning will become too cheap to meter. Think about how electricity or internet data transformed society once they became incredibly cheap and abundant. Right now, if you want to use OpenAI's most advanced models with deep reasoning capabilities, you have to pay a premium monthly subscription. You face strict message caps because the computing power required to run those models is incredibly expensive for OpenAI to maintain. When Jalapeño deploys at scale across Microsoft's data centers in late 2026, those financial limitations vanish. It means you will get access to lightning-fast, highly advanced AI models completely for free, or for a fraction of the current cost. Your apps will never lag, and system outages during peak hours will become a thing of the past. Now let us talk about the business impact. Enterprise companies spend millions monthly. With cheaper compute, companies will deploy millions of digital AI agents. Imagine a small business that can suddenly deploy a fleet of hundreds of autonomous AI workers to handle customer service, complex data analysis, coding, and sales outreach simultaneously, costing them pennies on the dollar. Society will have to adapt to an economy powered entirely by cheap intelligence. It will accelerate productivity, but it will also fundamentally disrupt traditional knowledge work job markets. What are the top tech experts saying about this massive move? OpenAI and Broadcom just made a high-stakes chess move against Nvidia. The battle has begun, and the physical infrastructure of the future is being rewritten right before our eyes. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and understand how these massive technology shifts change your career, your business, and your daily life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to NeuralPulse AI for your weekly dose of critical AI news. Watch this video next to learn about Sam Altman's secret global infrastructure plan. We will see you in the next video.